It's Buffalo and the New York Giants. One interesting little tie-in here. The Giants defensive coordinator, Harry Fuel, just a couple of years back, was the interim head coach for the Bills. There he is, going against a lot of players he knows quite well. Buffalo and the Giants, it's next on CBS.
CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
And we're back here at MetLife Stadium for Buffalo and the New York Giants, both teams with winning records and both teams going into the bye week off of this game. Chip Nance and Phil Simms here for it. And what about that? When you have a game going into a bye, what's it mean to the players?
You always want to win in the NFL, but we talked to both teams. They said there's pressure about the bye. Why? Because you don't want to ruin your week off because it hangs with you when you lose. And both teams said, nope, we want to feel good about this week we're getting off.
Well, the weather, again, it's 63, and there are some breezes out there, swirling winds at 16. Buffalo won the coin toss and defers to the second half. So Ryan Lindell to kick to Devin Thomas. Angles it, and in fact, it sailed out of bounds closer to about the 5-yard line, so what a break and a bad break for the Giants and a bad start there for Buffalo.
The wind is blowing.
Free kick out of bounds by Buffalo. New York elects its option to take the ball at the 40-yard line. First down.
The wind is blowing to the right as he kicked off, so he did not give it enough respect. That's why I took it out of bounds.
So the Giants begin things at the 40. With a 3-receiver formation. Bradshaw behind Manning. And Amont's going to cut outside right away. And he's got 7, maybe 8 yards. And a flag is down.
Holding. Offense, number 86. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Fleet Blakeman is the referee. And a big one against the Giants on the first snap. Pasco.
Yeah, Bear Pasco on the far outside right. As he loses the defender, grabs him with both hands, so that was an easy call.
So the Giants will be backed up to the 31. It'll make it a 1st and 19 to go. The right back. Right side, and Bradshaw squeezes it out to about the 35, a gain of 3. Eli Manning, that was only the 5th time in Giants franchise history a quarterback threw for over 400 yards last week. Phil, you hold the all-time record at 513. Here's his line. Take note, Booth moves into the right guard position with Snee out with a concussion. Bradshaw, he had an 88-yard touchdown run up against Buffalo few seasons back, one of the longest runs in Giants history. Here's Manning throwing, and he's got the completion out to the 48. Manningham with the catch. He's within 2 of a first. 3rd down on the way. The Buffalo defense, they are takeaway specialists. They're number 1 in the league. Darius, a decorated rookie, he's making plays. And that linebacking core includes the former Packer, Nick Barnett, who had a touchdown return for a touchdown last week, interception return, and there's George Wilson, who's had picks in each of the last 3 games. Victor Cruz has come into the slot to the right for the Giants on 3rd and 2, and Bradshaw is stopped short of the first.
I'm watching the sidelines thinking, will Tom Coughlin try to get the momentum, the crowd behind him by going for it on 4th down, no hesitation. Send in that punting team, but the Giants, you could tell certain situations, 1st and long, they're on 3rd down, running plays. That's all they talked about around here for a whole week. They got to get back to the run game.
You saw Brandon Jacobs, he's out again for this game today with a knee injury, so Weatherford with the punt. And that's into the end zone. Only a net of 31. So 3 and out for the Giants. Let's see what Fitzpatrick and the Bills do first time out. Fitzpatrick, 10 touchdowns, 4 picks on the season. He's directed the Bills to some big comeback victories this year, from 18 down against the Raiders, 21 down against the Patriots. His line, watch that left side today. Chris Hairston, rookie out of Clemson, in for Bell the second straight week. Bell out with a shoulder injury. Jackson, 3rd in the league in rushing. He's got 3 100-yard rushing performances this season. Look at Hairston. That's a line that's only surrendered 4 sacks on the year, fewest in the league. C.J. Spiller lined up as a receiver at the bottom of the screen. And they go Jackson. And he's able to pull off 2 out of that. Here's this Giants defense, number 1 in the league in sacks. Got 18 on the year. Pierre Paul, JPP, he has 6.5 to lead the way. Looking at a little 4-2-5 starting lineup here for the Giants. The 5 DBs, including Ross, with 3 interceptions on the year. 2nd down and 8. First down, and brought down at the 34 by Cory Webster. Picks up 12.
It's a quick rhythm passing game. Ryan Fitzpatrick, the quick fake inside, but look to the out. That is Stevie Johnson. He is quick. The Buffalo Bills run a lot of those quick slants inside, and the New York Giants, they have to be ready for it by the defensive backs. And we said it in the opening, Jim, the defensive linemen have got to stay in the passing lanes and get their hands up.
They got McIntyre lined up next to Fitzpatrick in the shotgun, and they got Spiller split and Jackson split. So spreading them out, first down. And a quick toss over to C.J. Spiller for 4. How about a little philosophy here, Bill?
Well, I talked about it. Smoke and mirrors. Watch what they put Stevie Johnson, the number 1 receiver, in motion. Fitzpatrick drops back. Everybody's to the left. Oh, it's a screen to the right. And the offensive linemen are all versatile. They're good blockers down the field. And, of course, Fred Jackson, we've seen it in highlights all year long. When he gets the football in his hands, look out.
Chan Gailey, in his 2nd season as the Bills head coach, used to be in this division with the Giants when he led the Cowboys for 2 years. He was 3-1 against Dallas. And Fitzpatrick's going to take off and run. And is able to pick up a couple to avoid the sack. Brought down by Michael Boley.
I think the one thing that the Buffalo Bills are worried about on their offensive side, pressure this time on Fitzpatrick, but it's enough. Look, he got a little crow step in there wanting to get rid of the football quick. But Chan Gailey worried about his offense being overpowered by a bigger and very fast defensive front of the Giants.
You saw Justin Tuck trying to stir things up.
Alpha, 1 ring.
3rd and 5 for the Bills. Johnson, well short of the first. Just a yard. Kenny Phillips brought him down right away. 4th and 4.
Yeah, good job by Kenny Phillips. The Giants in the defense that time, they were looking for the short underneath route. That's why you saw Kenny Phillips come flying up there to make the tackle. You have to make the Buffalo Bills throw the football down the field.
Brian Moorman punt it to Aaron Ross. At the 14, it's Ross. And Brad Smith collides with him after a 16-yard run back, 46-yard punt.
Southwest information in the NFL to the quarterback. They got the plays in front of him on photographs already. And Chan Gailey, the Bills came out, showed about 5 different formations. He's telling Ryan Fitzpatrick, here's what they're going to do against us today.
Got Pasco lined up in the backfield as Manning throws it out to the 34. to Jake Ballard for 4 yards. How about a little philosophy on this side of things?
I think when you play this Giant offense, Eli Manning's going to look it off. Anytime he gets single coverage to the top of the screen to Hakeem Nicks, he is going to try to take advantage of it. Hakeem Nicks can do everything. Enough speed to go deep, big and strong, can out-physical you, and some of the best hands in the NFL.
On 2nd and 6 is Bradshaw. And he is wrapped up rather quickly by Edwards.
I know the Buffalo Bills, they're a little disheartened because Kyle Williams, their defensive tackle, number 95, worked out before the game. He's not in there, and he's another one. And people are going, well, who's Kyle Williams? Well, I know this. There he is. When I watched him this week, and I went, man, who is this guy?
Yeah.
And he can do another one. He can stop the run, but he's also good enough to rush the passer from the inside position. Very difficult to find those guys in the NFL.
Out with a foot injury. Merriman's also out. And Kelsey with a calf injury is out.
Pressure.
3rd and 4. First down. That's Victor Cruz. And boy, is he coming on. McGee with the tackle.
Well, the pressure, the Giants are ready for the pressure. It's going to come from this side, from Eli Manning's right. He sees it, and watch the blocking. Bradshaw coming across. Nice. And the Giants do as good a job on 3rd down as anybody. The slot receiver for years, it was Steve Smith. You heard the crowd when Cruz catches it.
On 1st down, Manning. Bradshaw. Nice little wiggle inside the 40. And another Giants first. Pushed out by Florence, but not until he runs for 17.
Well, that's how the NFL has changed so much. Bradshaw faking it right to him. Eli Manning doesn't waste time. Andre Davis, a run-stopping linebacker. How do you cover Ahmad Bradshaw in open space like that? Well, you saw the answer. You can't. And quarterbacks, offensive coordinators, take advantage of the big linebackers now with those kind of matchups.
Manning completes his first 4 throws. 4 different targets. He's got a first down at the 39. Just beats the down clock. Drops back, throws. And that's over the head of Beckham. No flag.
Well, the Giants are hoping Beckham is that tight end who can really get down the field and make the plays. Eli Manning, I think, checked to this. And that's Brian Scott on the coverage. He's got what he wants. Eli Manning just throws it a little too high. At any time, most offenses, Jim, in the NFL now, when they cross, they get to about the 40-yard line and in. What they're looking for on 1st down, to heck with driving this football in there where it gets hard. Let's try to get a big strike from the outside.
Stacey Andrews on that line for the Giants on 2nd down and 10. Manning well protected, takes advantage, and has the completion at the 24. Manningham with another grab. Wilson decks him, but not until that one picks up 16.
Well, Jim, let me just show you what they did. The Giants expecting pressure. You're going to see Nicks go down the field here. 2-man route. And on the top of your screen coming inside is Manningham, and here it goes. You're Eli Manning. All you're doing is reading the guy in the middle. He goes deep, throw it to the receiver coming across. Good job.
First down at the 23. And it's Bradshaw. He cuts outside, and he is tripped up. Nice tackle by McGee for a loss of 2.
Well, that's a mistake by Ahmad Bradshaw. The running play is designed to go inside. Look at the blocks. They're good. Stay in there, but when he breaks it outside, there is not an offensive player assigned to block McGee, and that's what you do. What not enough guys do in the NFL. Tackle the running backs below the waist. They're too big and strong. You saw Ahmad Bradshaw's arms the other day, Jim.
Yeah.
I mean, if he stiff arms you, he'll knock you out.
Cruz in a slot to the left. Flag is down. Catch is made. And that is Ballard down to the 1. And it looked like Buffalo had jumped.
They did. Eli Manning getting smart in his older age. Use that snap count.
Offside. Defense, number 72. Penalties decline. First down, New York.
And Jake Ballard, zone defense. Eli Manning just sees the open spot. Nice throw. Good touch to get it over the top of Andre Davis. And Eli Manning, if you are watching him, be careful. He jerks his hands around a lot.
On first and goal, walking in is Bradshaw for the touchdown.
Well, all we heard from the Giants, sense of urgency, running game. We got to do those two things. 2 drives, 1 touchdown. The sense of urgency looks like it's there.
3rd rushing touchdown of the season for Bradshaw, 4th overall. And Tynes in for the extra point. 7-0 New York. Driving it down the field on their 2nd possession. 7-0 New York.
Southwest.com. McDonald's. I'm loving it. And by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
Now Ballard with the big 24-yard catch down to the 1, and then Ahmad Bradshaw took care of the rest of it.
There we go. Check out those arms. See that each arm has an A and a B, and you know his arms are big because they're in capital letters. So, you know.
Yeah, you even told them. You even said those are some pretty impressive arms you got there. When we met with him on Friday, and it'll be a touchback. Spiller fields it at the back of the end zone. Bradshaw took that little pass play, part of that drive. Ballard down to the 1, and then Bradshaw with the touchdown. CBS. Well, that giant offensive line, pretty impressive that time down the field.
It was pass protection, run blocking, and if you said what area of the team has been the biggest disappointment so far this year for the Giants, it would be the offensive line. But it's early.
Second drive of the game for the Bills. And there goes Freddie Jackson taking off. Foot race inside the 20. Cuts back. What a move to escape the last Giant. Touchdown, Fred Jackson. 80 yards.
That move said it all about Fred Jackson. Everybody in Buffalo says it's uncanny how he always knows where everybody's at. First, the blocking up front is terrific. And then Deion Grant, wrong angle, comes up too quick. And then wants to move it to the end. Aaron Ross has got him, but that little sway to the left allows him to go for the touchdown. Saw it last week and a big screen against the Philadelphia Eagles. Same type of play.
A career-long run for Freddie Jackson. And Ryan Lindell ties it at 7. Yeah, that last little move helped them escape. Aaron Ross ties it at 7.
On CBS is sponsored by E-Trade. Investing Unleashed. And by Toyota.
Well, we've just seen the longest run by the Buffalo Bills in 21 years since Thurman Thomas broke an 80-yarder in November of 1990.
Well, I made some statements before this game. I said, you know, the Giants, they have some A-list stars. I don't know if the Buffalo Bills, I don't know, but Fred Jackson's close. Well, I better move him up.
Mark that ball. A nice souvenir. Thomas, the returner, hesitates for a moment, now takes off and squirts out to the 24. Phil, let's get you in control of the clicker now. You can control the replay. Go ahead.
Well, let's see if I can do it. Here's Deion Grant back here, but watch the right guard. That's Craig Urbick, the center, Eric Wood. Watch how they just wash it down. So they just move the defensive line. They're on skates, the blocking. You're a safety that's way back there for a reason. The angle of attack is way too fast by Deion Grant. Oh, he didn't make him change directions or anything, Jim. That's what you got to at least do at safety, make him pull up.
Giants come back with Bradshaw. For only a yard. We've got an update. Let's send it back across the river. James Brown from the studio.
Jim, Eagles looking to end a 4-game losing streak. And 11-play, 82-yard drive. Michael Vick, a little slip screen here to Brett Selleck, 7-yard touchdown.
You know, Phil Simms would want to know that I knew that play. Thank you very much, Dan.
Slip screen.
Slip screen. Back to Jim Nantz and Phil Simms.
All right, thank you, guys. And again, Washington on top of the NFC East. The Eagles at the bottom. And the Giants at 3-2. Deion Grant trying to explain how in the world that got right past him. 2nd and 9. Again, Manning's got time and finally finds Scott open for a gain of 4. We've got another update, so let's send it right back to you guys in New York.
Jim, as you know, Pittsburgh plays well at home.
And a long drive, 10 plays, 87 yards. Rashard Mendenhall around the outside, 8-yard touchdown, his 3rd touchdown of the year, 7-0 Pittsburgh.
Back to the Meadowlands, Jim Nantz, Phil Simms.
All right, thank you. Don't you know that Dick LeBeau and that defense for Pittsburgh relishing the chance to be at home against a rookie quarterback. They've already sacked Gabbert a couple of times in that game. Thank you, fellas. 3rd down for the Giants. They only converted once last week on 3rd down, 1 out of 12. The key went on their touchdown drive a few moments ago. Another one here, no. Over the head of Hakeem Nicks. So a 3 and out for New York.
Well, they got what they wanted. Eli Manning a little careful with the throw. Protection, your best receiver going down the field with lots of room to the outside. But if you miss it, you want to miss it long.
It was McGee on the coverage. And now Weatherford. The Spiller back deep for Buffalo. He's going to love this one. Weatherford. Spiller. And he slips out of bounds at the 23. That was a 55-yard punt. 7-7 first quarter.
You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Get the edge you need to win your fantasy league. Interactive tools, award-winning player rankings, and expert chats throughout the week. CBSSports.com/fantasy news. Bills at the 22. Roosevelt wide to the right. And Jackson. How do you back up an 80-yarder? Well, you pick up another 8, maybe 9. How about that 80-yard run and that move he made inside the 10 to close the deal?
I'm just going to say, watch the right guard center, the Giant defensive lineman. They're like bowling pins getting pushed. And then the move through there. And what do you say about this last move?
You never see a guy make a move like this at the end. They go straight in and usually get caught. But that last little wiggle, and as you called it, a sway to the left. Pretty heads-up play there.
Kind of explains Fred Jackson's year. It's been special. The offensive line and him are the biggest reasons for their 4-1 record.
On 2nd and 3, he's going to lose yardage this time. Gives back 1 as the Giants come crashing through. Jaquan Williams and others. Lost a couple, actually.
Well, the Giants absolutely on that. Well, they were playing run defense all the way, and the safety Antrell Roll, he was up there like a linebacker.
Third and 5, and Fitzpatrick looks right. There's Johnson for the first. Stevie Johnson picks up 8.
Well, Stevie Johnson, he's got it all. He's quick. He's just got, and I hate to say the word savvy, but he has it. Nice timing, curls it up. They run that type of play every single week. It's not a back shoulder throw. He goes down the sideline and runs a curl to the inside. so it's a little different than most teams do, but he's physical, the timing was perfect, and they make it work every week.
Backing up the huge season he had last year. Johnson over 1,000 last year. Back to the ground on first down, and Jackson plows ahead for 4.
You know, it was interesting, though, just listen to Chan Gailey in a lot of aspects, but, you know, you expect him to go, oh, our quarterback's playing great, it's this and that. And he just said, hey, look, this is working because we're getting some special play from our offensive line. And that's pass protection, which has been good enough, but the running game is at times, Jim, it's been spectacular. And we say it every week. Your offensive line's playing well. We got a good football team.
Well, you were talking about it when we watched it on tape, and you hear it already. Rolling out. Fitzpatrick's pass wide of the mark. Giants had that well covered. He was trying to go back to Johnson. Well, you looked at Chan Gailey a moment ago. Talk about second chances. Really just a perfect snapshot of what this Buffalo team is about. And he got it really starting right there with Chan Gailey, who served 2 years head coach at Dallas, took him to the playoffs each year, but then was dismissed.
Well, you know, I asked him, what makes the second go-around better for you? He goes, well, you know, the first time I didn't know what I didn't know, which is always what you hear from coaches. Experience, he can handle the team better.
Third down and 6. And they pick it up again. Nifty move made. It's Roosevelt taken off. Roosevelt is in for the touchdown. Naaman Roosevelt, homegrown talent, takes it 60 yards for Buffalo.
Well, they got the answers. It's a zone defense by the Giants. They're playing the short pass, but the catch, the throw is right on target. David Nelson, a wide receiver, was in the backfield blocking O.C. Umenyiora. He got a good enough block for Fitzpatrick to get the pass off to get the touchdown.
Tom Coughlin can't believe they've given up 2 monster plays in the first quarter. An 80-yarder, a 60-yarder. And it's 14-7. Naaman Roosevelt, raised in Buffalo, went to the University of Buffalo, now has a touchdown for his hometown team. Really quite a story right here. Roosevelt, Phil, is in for Donald Jones, who's inactive with an ankle injury. Came in during that Eagles game last week that Roosevelt caught 5 balls, and now we knew he's going to see a lot more action today. We didn't know he was going to pull off anything like that.
Yeah, well, yes. They lost their speed receiver. Well, they found another one. You're right, Jimmy. Came in last week. Even the coaches said, well, yeah, he got a chance and he got it done. But the offense, it's so different even for like a spread offense in the NFL. And the Giants were playing the quick pass, the defense to stop the quick pass. They were expecting it to the outside. Fitzpatrick threw it to the inside. No defenders there to make the tackle.
And the kick will be run back by Thomas, who dives to the 16. There's a flag at the back end of it.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Return team number 22. Penalty is half the distance to the goal line. First down, New York.
You know, the other thing about that touchdown play, they barely beat the play clock. Watch it on the lower left side. Oh.
Well, when you see 0, you're taught to look down. If the ball snapped, it's okay. You saw David Nelson, the wide receiver, come across and block O.C. Umenyiora. And on defense, Jim, you always discipline on defense. You have to be under control. If you go full speed sometimes, like going to make the highlight play, what happens? You miss the tackle. You overrun the play.
19 seconds to go in the opening quarter. And Eli flings it over to Manningham. A gain of 5. We'll bring the first quarter to a close. A quarter in which Buffalo did not run a single play in New York Giant territory. Hobbling is Manningham, but they ambushed that territory for 2 long touchdowns to lead it after 1. You're watching the NFL on CBS. So at first quarter, they saw the Giants with 1 impressive drive and a touchdown by Bradshaw, but then the first play from scrimmage after that, you see Manningham, we saw him hobbling going to the break. He's still out there. After the Bradshaw touchdown, the next snap went 80 to Jackson, and then a 60-yard Fitzpatrick touchdown hookup with Roosevelt. Start the second quarter, 2nd down and 5 for the Giants. And that's another completion to Pasco. That goes for 13.
I think, Jim, you know, coming into this game, a lot of people around the NFL and the fans and people that talk about this Bills football team, can they play with the emotion and the fever that we've seen them have up in Buffalo? Well, when you have big plays, that'll get you going on the road. That's what the Bills have done so far. It just gives you confidence, gives you energy.
Another 3-0 at home, and they won on the road at Kansas City. The one loss was on the road at Cincinnati. Manningham, the ball comes out incomplete. He is smashed by McGee.
Well, Terrence McGee getting back in the starting lineup has been hurt. An excellent corner timing, read the quarterback. How about that for form tackling?
That's the way it's supposed to be done right there. If you weren't feeling well a couple of snaps ago, Mario, how are you feeling now?
Arms wide, head to the side, run through the offensive player, like I would know.
2nd and 10. And now Bradshaw rips off a good run. Gain of 12.
You know, sometimes Brandon Jacobs being out might even be a blessing. To the right side, Kevin Booth, center last week, right guard this time. Excellent block by him. But Ahmad Bradshaw getting those extra carries. We talked to him, Jim. What did he tell you? Man, I'm ready to do it.
You asked him
to carry the team.
You said, describe your style, and he said it's all about toughness, and he hears that sometimes from his opponents after the game. Man, you're tough.
What Brian Urlacher say?
He said just that.
Are you always mad?
Yeah. Why are you always angry? Completion to the 45 to Nix. Now the Giants starting to get a little rhythm. That goes for 18.
Yeah, they are. They've got the defense spread. A little switch route to the outside. Nice cut by Nix. Good timing. And Eli Manning is, as Aaron Rodgers said to us, hey, you threw the ball well. What are you? Oh, it was coming out of my hand hot. Well, Eli Manning's got the hot hand so far today. Throwing it very well.
First catch by Nix. And a first down throw. Right back to him again. This picks up 8. Well, the Bills are hot, and the Lions are also the talk of the league. Let's get an update on that. JB.
That they are. Lions looking for their 10th straight win.
And the Lions are still on a roll here. Matthew Stafford, 16 yards to Brandon Pettigrew for 10-0 lead. Detroit Lions over San Francisco.
7 plays, 69 yards. And Jim, you know it. Phil Simms is never mad, right?
Okay, so the touchdown, looks like it's going to be disputed. It holds up. 2nd down and 2, and another good opening. Pick up 4. And a first down. Talk about a reversal of fortunes. You got 2 of them playing in that game you just saw, the Lions and the 49ers. And this Buffalo team was 0-5 at this point last year, on the way to 0-8.
Well, they got the system in place last year. They got some confidence at the end of the year. They got stability at quarterback, terrific running back.
As Eli got it away just in time to the end zone. Oh, Nix tried to chase it down. That was Moats come crashing in on the quarterback, almost got to him in time.
Yeah, Eric Moats, number 52, a very good edge rusher for the Buffalo Bills. And the fact Eli Manning feels it, goes, uh-oh, got to step up, throw it before he's ready, and that stopped a touchdown. But boy, your defensive back, that was a tremendous route by Hakeem Nicks. What did he do that was so good? He kept the defensive back. He ran straight at him and made him keep backpedaling.
2nd and 10 from the 33. And a toss to Bradshaw. Still running angry. You know what JB said a moment ago? You never got mad. You're never mad, are you? He was taking a little shot at you there.
Well, yeah, I couldn't hear him. Well, you answer the question. Am I always in a good mood?
Always.
Oh, thank you.
Just a ray of sunshine.
Hey, you got to go with your strength in life. That's what they call me, sunshine.
George Edwards, defensive coordinator for the Bills.
Well, he just says, we're not making a lot of mental mistakes. But, of course, he's very disappointed of giving up a lot of yards this year or just not tackling. And boy, I hear that a lot in the NFL. We're not tackling well. Hard to do it when you can't practice it.
3rd and 5. They go down the field, and it's incomplete, but a flag is thrown. It's going to be on Drayton Florence. Made contact. He was beaten by Manningham.
Well, when you play the Giants, they are aggressive throwing the football. Tom Coughlin, his whole career, likes to go down the field.
Pass interference. Defense, number 29. The ball he plays to the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Drayton Florence, I think he does the right thing. Manningham, usually when you're going deep, the defender expects you to go outside. The fact that he released inside, I think it fooled Drayton Florence, and that is absolutely a penalty. So a good call that time.
A 19-yard penalty. That sets up the Giants at the 9. Good fake to Bradshaw. Standing there, Manning throws it incomplete. In the area of Nicks.
Well, when it gets inside the 10-yard line, now in the NFL, the play action fake, the ball, they want to throw it over the middle, not there, and then the stop route and go back outside. I see it by a lot of football teams. The Bills probably have the exact same play. Their defense, very good job of recognizing it and taking it away.
Because that defense, number 1 in the league in takeaways, number 1 in picks. They made some plays down at this end of the field, and they do it again. 2nd and goal. And they hold Bradshaw to a 1-yard gain. 3rd and goal coming up from the 8. Edwards in on that last play.
I think this Bills defense, it's going to get better as the year goes along. They have speed now. They have some cover guys. Their safeties are excellent tacklers. They're physical, but they have size, which Buffalo went for years having like this tiny defense. Now they got some big men inside that stop some of those running plays.
Eli looks right, goes right, and to the back of the end zone. They'll bring out Times. It's over the head of Jernigan.
Well, it was a good play call. They were trying to deceive the defense. Had both receivers to Eli Manning's right. They're doing 2 little stop and goes. So he looks it off. He's got 2 guys over there, but they are both well covered. Nobody went for the little quick route fake. Eli Manning has to throw it away. Look at those moves.
Well, they had it sealed, didn't they? 26-yard field goal try. And Hines drives it through. Well, Florence held on here, but his penalty may have saved the touchdown. Manningham had him beat.
Absolutely.
Resulting in 3 points. Some Boss in there. He's back this week. So there for a moment. Brad Smith knows a thing or two. And returning kicks in the stadium. And there is Brad Smith, the former Jet. Just a 21-yard run back. Tynes makes the field goal, but wasn't dead center.
Cars side by side at Autotrader.com. Sprint. All football, no limits. Only from Sprint. And by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking. Get to a better state.
Tonight on 60 Minutes, he's been covering Afghanistan for 10 years, but what Scott Pelley reports on 60 Minutes may change the way you see the war. Tonight, only CBS. What do you think Eli's talking about right now?
Well, I'm hot. Call more passes. It's really going well, but Eli Manning's played almost perfect to this point. He has played perfect. So has Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Fitzpatrick zings it over to Spiller. He's got 5 yards.
A lot of ways to get it done. Jane Gailey, you don't hear many head coaches go, yeah, we're going to do it with smoke and mirrors, but that's just a good example. C.J. Spiller, running back, splitting outside. It makes the defense come off a little, and when they do, they get an easy completion.
Fitzpatrick just came to the sideline. That means we're going to see Brad Smith taking the snap here out of the shotgun.
And you always have to be alert when he's the quarterback that it could be a pass.
Going to keep it. He's got a big alley. Brad Smith to the 46. Good for 18 yards. He ran one in last week for a touchdown.
Overreaction. Look at the defense fly. And oh, a nice job. Urbick coming around. Nobody to block.
Got an injured Giant on the field. Coughlin and the Giants trailed 14-10. Watch his left shin. And Smith.
That'll leave a mark. There's no doubt about it.
Smith sets up the Bills at the 46, first down. Patrick back in there now. More conventional way of going about things as Jackson takes it to the Giants side of the field. Gain of 6, and how about these key plays we've seen? I mean, barely even touched. Just a little hand on Jackson on the 80-yarder.
Well, the New York Giants coming into the game today, stop the run, stop the run. We're going to stop it, and then we're going to earn the right to rush the passer. Neither one's working very well so far.
And this one's untouched. And now we're going to see the Bills snap it on the Giants side of the field for the first time in this game. Phillips set out one, plays back in there. Inside dig. And Jackson stuffed, no gain. We've got an update. Back to JB in the studio.
Hey, Danny, Phil Simms could sling it back into the
he
play,
can
right?
sling it, and so can this guy here. This is too easy, Phil. Aaron Rodgers, 93-yard touchdown to Jordy Nelson. That's his 16th touchdown of the year, second of the day. Green Bay up 17-0.
Phil even wore uniforms like that, too, did he not?
No.
He did? All right, back to Jim Nance. Phil Simms.
Wow. I'm getting beat here. Everybody's taking shots at me today. I like it.
Your day.
All right.
Third down for the Bills.
I'll get even.
They go 5 wide. Got to get to the 44 for the first. Fitzpatrick's pass incomplete. Going to be interference against the Giants. Foley never turned around. David Nelson was the target.
Well, the wide receiver is open underneath, and Ryan Fitzpatrick decides to take the shot.
Defense, number 59. Ball in place, steady spot and foul. First down.
And David Nelson, the inside receiver, going down the middle against Michael Boley. And the defender never turns, has his hands on Nelson, so that's an easy call. And you gotta look twice when you see 86 out there. You go, wow, that's a fast tight end. No, that's a wide receiver. Big, physical, good hands, and always look for him once they get inside the 20-yard line.
A 26-yard penalty on third down. Meanwhile, Fitzpatrick fumbles the football, only the second fumble all year by Buffalo. I believe they recovered it. Stays with the Bills. Recovered by Eric Pierce.
Well, Pierce on the right side is beaten. That's Matthias Kiwanuka. He is a linebacker that plays defensive end too for the New York Giants.
The Bills last fumbled on their third snap of the year at Kansas City. It was recovered by Fitzpatrick. They still haven't lost one this season as that one's recovered by Pierce. Backing them up to the 28. 2nd and 16, and Nelson was open for a moment. Back again, they haven't lost one this year. The last time they lost a fumble was actually in this building. Week 17 against the Jets. Jamal Westerman of the Jets recovering. See what Chan Gailey has up his sleeve here. On 3rd and 16.
Well, they made Ryan Fitzpatrick hold the football a little longer than usual. So what happens? The Giants finally get there, make the hit, and calls a fumble.
Trying to buy time, ducking under, and he's going down. And he's knocked out of field goal range. Pierre Paul and Tollefson for a 10-yard loss.
It's the coverage down the field that does it. The protection is awesome. He looks right and left. Now you got to throw it away. Sometimes when you're an athletic quarterback, let's look down the field. Where do you throw it? They got you in and out. Could have thrown it short. He decided not to. He wanted to try to get the first down. If you look at those replays, though, there were some windows to throw the football. Fitzpatrick just couldn't make his mind up.
Mormon. And it's down at the 10 by Garrison Sanborn, the long snapper, fielding it there. 26-yard punt, just what the Bills wanted. They got him at the 10.
Solutions that matter. And by the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Jim Nance and Phil Simms at MetLife Stadium. With the Bills leading the Giants on 2 explosive plays. 14-10, Bills lead it. 5:28 to go, second quarter. That is stopped after a gain of 2. Tonight on CBS, this former NFL star can run the field. Knew that about Marcus Pollard back in his day with the Colts. Can he dive the depths? A new amazing race in Thailand. Tonight only CBS.
This New York Giants offensive line off to a good start today. Last week, they made mistakes blocking assignments and simple things that you start from day 1 of training camp caused the Giants to have some really bad plays.
They fake to Ware. Manning escapes a sack. Finds his target. It's Ballard, his 3rd catch of the game. Brought down by George Wilson after 22 yards.
Well, the protection inside was very good. David Boss, Kevin Booth, they allow Eli Manning to step up inside and find Ballard, who saw the quarterback step up. So what does he do? He changes directions. He's wide open, and Ballard, just working his way and finding a role in this offense in the passing game.
DJ Ware is in for Bradshaw in the backfield. Manning's going down the field. Got an open man, and it's caught at the 30. Inside the 10. And Nix is out of bounds at the 5. He beats Drayton Florence for 60.
Drayton Florence not ready for the football. Eli Manning wants to throw it to the right. McGee's back off of the wide receiver. But Drayton Florence once again getting beat to the inside. He's trying to take away the outside release. Akeem Nix says, I'll take it. And what a throw by Eli Manning.
Man, it was on the spot. 1st and goal Had the 5 timeout called. Giants trying to take it in to take the lead. All right, Nix for 60. Can you run faster? Now here he is. You know, he's not trying to go across the pylon here. He's got 20 yards to go. Can you run faster holding the ball out there with one hand or tucking it under?
Well, I'll put this right up there with guys in baseball who hit it, jog to first base, and all of a sudden the second baseman drops it and you're still thrown out at first because you didn't hustle. And the same with wide receivers. I don't know why he did it, but it's not sound. I know it's frowned upon by coaches, but we see it every week.
Giants still employing DJ Ware as the running back. On first and goal, and it is Ware. Couple of cuts down to the 1. Picked up 4.
There's no doubt about it when you watch the Giants offense so far. I know it's still in the first half, but the offensive line, they're just more aggressive. So it makes Kevin Gilbride's job a lot easier, believe me. Because you don't have to sit over there and go, well, what do we got up front? Can we hold the protection long enough? Can we run this play where the right guard pulls and makes the block? The answer to all of it is yes. You're getting it all done today so far.
Bradshaw back in there. Trying to score for the second time, and he's pulled back. Oh, it's a touchdown. Troop had a hold of him. Shepard was in on that play also for Buffalo, but oh, what a move that was. He reached out underneath.
Remember, the tip of the football, all that has to do is just touch the white line, and it does. Scoring play, so it's going to be looked at up top.
You talk about the strength. The arms on Bradshaw. They are looking at it now and to try to verify the score.
I think just the one thing I saw quickly on the replay was his knee down or his shin down when they reached out with the football. Hard to tell from the first angle.
I think it's going to hold up as a touchdown. For one thing, you don't have enough evidence to overturn it. Just let's watch the legs here.
Well, there's no doubt the right knee hit there, Jim, but the question is, even if you piece it together, can you tell when the knee is on the ground and when he reached out with the football? Oh, it's down right there. It is. It was down.
Oh, yeah. It was down before he reached out to cross the plane.
Yes. So many bodies, hard to see. Oh, there it is down. I don't know. How about that for being decisive? Yes. I don't think so. I don't know.
Looks like the knee's down right here, and of course, still got the ball cradled in the left arm.
My bifocals are not big enough. Yes, it's short. There we go.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
You didn't see enough evidence to call it back.
All the fans below me go, what do you think? I said, oh, it's about 4 or 5 inches short. So once again, the Giant fans don't like me.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was getting a few funny looks. Some other stronger forms of communication too.
So, Jim, just what a drive by the Giants. It's got everything in it. The Eli Manning move, really good throw deep down the field. Some good runs by Bradshaw.
It's an 89-yard touchdown drive. 10 unanswered points in this quarter by the Giants to regain the lead at 17-14. Of course, the big chunk of it, 60 of the 89, on the pass play to Nix. What a fake, by the way, by Eli right there.
Well, it's just a wonderful job of getting off the first receiver and saying, okay, that's not the guy, don't hesitate, turns and makes the perfect throw. And again, Drayton Florence inserted into the lineup over Leotis McKelvin because of the way he has been playing, and he's given up a couple plays today, plus the pass interference.
So Bradshaw has both of the New York touchdowns. And Fitzpatrick has 2:58 to operate with, plus all 3 timeouts. Bradshaw was telling us Friday about this extra kick he felt was coming from the team in practice all this week, trying to get that victory going into the bye week that you spoke about earlier. And Smith watches this one sail over his head, and out to the 20 we go. And by the way, we will be going back to the studios at halftime, the Sprint Halftime Report, with JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, and Coach Cowher for all the latest scores and highlights coming up on the Sprint Halftime Report. Speaking of Coach Cowher, we were talking to Chan Gailey this week. Was he appreciative of Coach Cowher and all the support he's given him to get back into the NFL as a head coach? But he did say, you know what, Bill still thinks he can beat me at racquetball. That's just not the case.
Chan called him out. Coach Cowher, he said he could take you down.
No problem. Fitzpatrick got an open target, and it's caught by Spiller at the 35.
Long time to hold this football. Left tackle 75, Chris Hairston, going against Jason Pierre-Paul, and look at the blocking all around is very good. And the wide receiver, look how long it takes for Spiller to come across the field. So we talked about Buffalo throwing a lot of short passes. That time they put the pressure on their offensive line. They came through.
It went for 15 yards. Clock running at 2:30. Set up screen. Jackson, middle of the field. And twisted down near another first. Maybe a half yard shy. Williams on the tackle. Give him 9.
Fence number 90. Throw to the head of the quarterback. It's 15 yards from the end of the run. First down, Buffalo.
Well, they got a roughing the quarterback call against Pierre-Paul, which will move the football to the Giants side of the field.
Well, they took advantage of him this time. They said, well, we'll give you the free release. His hands went up to the face of the quarterback, and that is what they would call a blow with force. So that's a 15-yarder.
Sets up the Bills at the 40 as we approach the 2-minute warning. It's Jackson sliding off one hit and taking it for 5 yards. So the Bills move it down to the Giants 35 at the 2-minute mark. And you're watching the NFL on CBS.
Amazing service moment. From A-10 Thunderbolts to UH-60 Blackhawks, the pregame flyover has long been a way to recognize the freedoms we share due to the sacrifices of our nation's military, and continues to be a thrilling opening for the on-field action across the NFL.
USAA, we know what it means to serve. Let us serve you.
Coming up, Sprint Halftime Report. JB will take you around the league, all the early action. Dan, Shannon, Boomer, Coach Cowher weighing in on the Sprint Halftime Report. Jackson went over 100 on that carry before the 2-minute warning. Of course, got the 80-yard touchdown run. That's his 4th 100-yard game already of the season. 2nd and 5, they go back to him. And now, Takes quite a hit near the first down. They're going to mark him a little bit short. That was Phillips who came up to jar him and stop him short.
Sorry, Jim. Rocky Bernard underneath. Grabbing the legs. Phillips hits him up top. But Shane Gailey, the run on first down to get it to the 2-minute warning. Run it again here. That's a big hit by Kenny Phillips. But not only trying to score, but Shane Gailey calling the plays himself from the sideline, managing the clock. Let's score, and don't give this Giants offense another chance.
That's awfully close, but it's a chain link short. Of course, you manage it just right, and you don't give the Giants offense a chance. Then you come back up because you deferred. You get the ball to start the second half.
And the one thing that I've noticed when I watch the Buffalo Bills, as we're getting ready for this game, they don't run out of plays. In other words, when the half is over, they go, well, we showed the Giants everything. They have a high number of ways to do just about everything. Screens, 4 and 5 different ones every game. They will keep you off balance.
3rd and inches. And the Giants stack it up. Jackson is denied.
I think he'll go for it here without hesitation. See how long it takes him to get the play sent in. He's going to Shane Gailey is going to at least work the clock down.
Going to bypass what would be a 49-yard field goal. Again, he's still got all 3 timeouts. So he's going to run it right down here and call the timeout at 43.
Well, what you do from the Giants side, Jim, you call timeout to force that decision to be tougher for Shane Gailey. That's if I was Tom Coughlin, I'd have called a timeout just to say, okay, if you're going to go for it on 4th down, hopefully we can make you pay the price, because we have extra timeouts and enough time to maybe go down and get a field goal. You agree?
Well, it's so close. Yeah, I think that.
I see you giving me that look.
I like the way Gailey did that, though.
I like the way Gailey did it. I'm talking about Tom Coughlin call a timeout to keep more time on the clock for his team if they decide to go for it on 4th, the Buffalo Bills.
And get stopped.
Right. You got to make the opponent pay for their decision.
Well, they're going to kick it as it turns out.
So that's why he did the whole thing. So Shane Gailey.
Again, so crucial here. If you miss it, that would give the Giants the football at the 39. So 49 yards on the way. Lindell 8 of 9 on the year. Season long is 43. Ryan Lindell's pick. It hooks at the last moment, and it's good.
Wind is going to the left.
His 200th field goal as a Buffalo Bill. And it ties the game at 17.
He learned on that opening kickoff that the wind, which direction it was really taking the football. So he gets it up, look at it, curve.
You surprised they went for the 3?
No, it's a good decision. I think Shane Gailey is looking at it now and just going, he understands what's going on in this game. Don't give up points or chance at points.
Look at Lindell. Come on, Win. Come on now.
There it is. Got to trust it. Well, I think both sides would be pretty happy with that whole outcome. The Bills, hey, we made a good drive. We took some time off the clock. We got 3 points. The Giants, once that momentum gets rolling sometimes against the defense, especially when you're playing an offense like the Bills, which, what do you put your hat on? Quick passing, screen plays. Oh, let's stop Fred. You can't do everything, so they keep you guessing. Once they get rolling, hard to stop them.
Devin Thomas. He's going to have a chance to stretch it out here, but no. Smothered at the 20 by Cory McIntyre. That was some hit by the fullback playing special teams.
Oh, yes. Full speed right through the runner. McIntyre, he could double up as a pulling guard.
Good. So the Giants have 2 timeouts in 34 seconds. They go run with Bradshaw. He's got a gap out to the 30. Pickup of 9.
Oh, he waited too long. When you get 8 or 9 yards, call that timeout. Try another draw. Let's see if you get it.
So the Giants are down to 1 timeout. So 200 made field goals as a Buffalo Bill. Scott Norwood, one they always talk about. Super Bowl 25.
How far was that kick?
That was 47 yards.
Yeah, you know, everybody acts like it was just a gimmick.
Like it, yeah, it's like an automatic.
Oh, yeah, 47 yards, grass field, Super Bowl. Oh, come on. You got to make that.
It's the Buckner thing.
Yeah.
I went to his house a few years ago. Scott Norwood, living outside of Virginia. Constantly reminded about it.
Of course.
2nd and 1. Open by Cruz. Unable to catch up to it.
Well, Eli Manning just a little antsy there. It didn't develop real fast, so he knows, you know, quarterbacks know the timing. And that timing, when it's not there, you go, somebody's got to be coming to hit me from behind.
Well, 3rd and 1.
Draw to the right.
Well, you're calling the plays. You got it. Tell you what, that was going to be just enough for the first, it appears. Otherwise, the Bills might want to think about a timeout. That'll probably run it out here in the first half. It's been a good one. We've had 3 plays at 60 yards or longer. 2 of them were touchdowns by the Bills. Coughlin and company. Gailey and his group, they head to the locker room with the game tied at 17. We'll be back with a Sprint halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL. The game is tied going to the 3rd quarter. And let's take a look at the NFL Mobile Recap presented by Verizon. Another glance at that Freddie Jackson 80-yard touchdown run. Deion Grant didn't cut off the angle, and Ross was unable to chase him down. That last little move, that last wiggle to the left. And that tied the game at 7 at that point. Today has been a good half of football here, Phil. What do you think we're going to see here in the second half?
Well, you're right. It's been crisp by both sides. I've really been impressed with both offenses, both quarterbacks really playing error-free, almost perfect. What defense can make the big play? Who can cause a turnover that will probably be the difference in the game?
Eli Manning throwing for 211 yards in that first half. Both the Giants touchdowns from Bradshaw from a yard out. But meanwhile, Fitzpatrick and the Bills, they hit the 2 long ones, including the 60-yard touchdown throw, with most of it after the catch by Naaman Roosevelt. So again, the Bills deferred to get the second half kickoff from Tynes. And this is Spiller unable to handle it cleanly. So the Bills will come out to the 20-yard line. Jackson over 100 thanks to that one explosive long run. He's over 100 for the 4th time this year. Bradshaw doing almost all the work today on the ground for the Giants, 42 yards and a pair of scores. Ryan Fitzpatrick really at first blessed at this position, given the blessing of the franchise, if you will, from the now Giants defensive coordinator Perry Fuel.
Harry Field really liked Ryan Fitzpatrick 2 years ago. I don't know how he feels about him right now.
Right.
But when he took over, the way he acted, he commanded respect. Made him his quarterback right away.
He goes with Jackson, who was met immediately by Boley and is held to a 1-yard run. Yeah, Field was the interim coach at Buffalo 2009, the last 7 games, and he let Fitzpatrick take the quarterback job. This is some play here by Michael Boley.
Michael Boley is a good NFL linebacker, and his main quality is he is fast, and we saw it there.
Fitzpatrick recollecting the other day to us about his first big performance as a Bill was in this stadium when the Bills came back and beat the Jets in an overtime game. Here he is looking to throw on the slant, and it's stripped away. It was going to Johnson, but Cory Webster was one who knocked it out.
Well, the Giants, they have the guy they want. That is perfect coverage. Put the right hand on the hip, so in case you miss the knockdown, he will not run for another 20 yards and knock the pass down with the left.
Bring Brad Smith into the lineup. The Bills do. Send him wide to the left. 4 receivers in all, including Roosevelt. It's a 3rd and 9 play from the gun. They seal the pocket. Fitzpatrick has the connection out to the 35-yard line with David Nelson and a first down. Picks up 14.
You know, Jim, coming into this game, I thought, boy, Ryan Fitzpatrick will never have the time to throw the ball like this. All the extra space and time to make this throw as the receiver runs down the field. Again, an inside hookup. And Ryan Fitzpatrick, it's not like the fastest release in the NFL. He's like a baseball player. He rears back and lets it go.
Well, you see Brad Smith now at quarterback. He had this one time in the first half, ran it for 18. He's going to keep it again. Smith trying to get the edge with a stiff arm, and he hops out after a gain of about 5. This coming after David Nelson's first catch of the game. And by the way, last week Brad Smith came in the red zone down at the 5 against the Eagles, and he took it across for a touchdown.
Well, Chan Gailey, the original, what did he create in the NFL? He had Slash.
Yeah, he had Cordell Stewart.
Slash. They gave it a name, and he did a terrific job with it.
When he was the coordinator, offensive coordinator for Cowher.
Right.
Coach Cowher at Pittsburgh. 2nd down and 6.
No, Spencer, 34. 18. Green, 18.
They fake it to Jackson. He wanted to go to Johnson. Able to ditch it at the last moment. Avoiding the sack, but that's only met right away by the Giant defense at a loss of 3. Chandler with the catch. Umanura right in on Fitzpatrick, forcing all of that.
Yeah, he was, but again, plenty of time to throw the football. O.C. Umanura, he's playing the draw, and then he's going against, you said, a tight end. Chandler misses the block, then catches the pass. But the one thing that's caught my attention today, Chris Hairston, the left tackle. You talked about him in the opening, Jim. They said, we're going to put him on the island. I thought, boy, that's going to be a mistake. Jason Pierre-Paul, O.C. Umanura, but he has been, to this point, perfect.
3rd and 9. They're chasing after Fitzpatrick, who unloads it. And the Giant defender never turned around. And Freddie Jackson saying, wait a minute, how can you not throw a flag here?
Well, you know, I'm going to agree with Freddie Jackson. How can you not? Why, because he's a running back? Watch the throw. No look, just both hands on him. All right, he turns at the last second, way too late. He definitely interfered with Jackson's attempt to catch the ball.
That was Jaquan Williams, who was the defender. So Mormon now back out. This is a boomer. He caught too much of it. There is a flag back at the line of scrimmage.
Illegal procedure. The gunner, which they call the outside defenders.
Illegal motion. Offense, number 26, is going towards the line of scrimmage at the snap. the Giants have elected to add the 5-yard penalty to the end of the run. Giants ball at the 25-yard line.
So we'll see Eli and the Giants for the first time in this half when we come back. Here was the third down play. No flag, no first down. Back to the Giants.
Copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
First snap of the second half coming up here for the Giants. Jim Nance, Bill Sims here at MetLife Stadium. Going to run it with Bradshaw. It's 13th carry of the game. And he's met right away by Edwards. Picks up 3.
You know, Jim, that time the Buffalo Bills, George Edwards says, I've had enough. He runs they do switch off and on. They go from a 3-4 defense to a 4-3. And just to explain to people, 4-3 means 4 defensive linemen. So let's get some bigger people in there.
Bradshaw again. And about the same result this time, too. Well, they went big, talking about that Buffalo defense. When they got with the 3rd overall selection, that young man right there out of Alabama, Marcel Darius.
He's doing the best thing that a rookie can do, Jim. Staying on the field, learning how to take on blocks, because it's a tough transition for defensive linemen in the NFL. All of a sudden they go, man, I'm not getting hit by one guy, like 2 guys hit me. But getting experience, once he gets enough, we'll see his true talent, what he can really do on the field.
4 wideouts in for the Giants on 3rd and 5. They give him all kinds of time to get an open man. It's Ballard to the 50. He's having a big game here. The tight end now with 4 catches. This one for 20.
That was an excellent job by Eli Manning. That play was designed to throw it down the middle. And Drayden Florence on the outside lets him go because you start watching the eyes of the quarterback. He's looking down the middle. Uh-oh, he threw it to my guy.
4 catches, 3 of them have been for at least 20 yards. Manning is over 200 for the 9th straight game. That ties a career streak for him. As Bradshaw thought about going outside and jukes back to the middle for 4. You can follow the NFL while on the go. The NFL's mobile apps are all new for the 2011 season. To get the apps, go to NFL.com/mobile.
And you know the Giants, Jim, these runs, they talked about it so much. They've got to get back to being more productive in it. And when you say it, if you're going to do it, you need patience, and you got to put up with a lot of 2- and 3-yard runs.
2nd and 6. The Bills have 6 defensive backs out there. As Eli works the middle of the field, there's Ballard again. Another first down grab at the 35. A gain of 11. I tell you, Bradshaw picked up a blitz here to help this play work.
Yeah, Ahmad Bradshaw, tough enough. Boy, he does a tremendous job picking up the blitz. But how about that? Ballard, one-on-one in the middle of the field. Easy completion for Eli Manning. Oh, man,
Bradshaw told us on Friday, he says, I take more pride on protecting Eli as much as anything that I do.
Well, he showed it there. Bird, safety on a blitz. No chance.
On first down, looking right, and he's got his man. It's Manningham. And finally bumped out by McGee, who lost his footing, and Manningham took advantage of it for 15.
Giants are as good as anybody in football when it comes to throwing these routes. Top of your screen. Uh-oh, here I go long. Stop. Good timing. Right to the chest of the receiver. And then the reverse to get the extra yards. Good stiff arm by Manningham.
Oh, yeah.
Shoot, these wide receivers in the league, they've gotten so big, they can stiff arm the defenders, too.
From the 20. Wide open. And down to the 9 is Nix.
Well, that was a running play that time, and Eli Manning has the option of saying, nope, it was a draw play to the left. But if the defender's too far off, which McGee was, he throws the quick slant inside. Some weeks, it's a throw to the outside. Each week they change up that route, what it's going to be. This week it's running fast to the inside.
Eli 4 of 4 on this drive as a 1st and goal. Bradshaw Goes low, churns the legs down to the 7, picks up 2, right into the arms of Hurd. And Fitzpatrick saying, well, I'd like to put together one of these drives like the Giants have done a couple of times today. Their big strikes were, 2 long plays. On the other side of the 50, an 80-yard run and a 60-yard pass play. Stacey Andrews back in on that offensive line for the Giants. Added reinforcement on 2nd and goal. They've kept it here for almost 5 minutes. Eli sidesteps the pressure, completes the pass, and has the touchdown. Touchdown, New York Giants. Mario Manningham, 7 yards out.
Tremendous protection. The original route is covered. Eli Manning's movement in the pocket is awesome. It's almost special, and he stayed with Manningham coming across. That's not how they drew it up, but the protection allowed him to do that. And he was drifting to his left, threw it back to his right for the touchdown.
They're going to take a look at this to make sure Manningham's knee was not down.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines at southwest.com. DirecTV. Switch now and get a whole home DVR upgrade for free. And by the 2011 GMC Sierra. This truck month, there is no better time to trade up to the best Sierra.
They still are trying to verify the touchdown. Mario Manningham, his shin is down. Watch this. Very close.
It's down. The shin is down. Everybody says, oh, the knee. But remember, the shin is, it's got to be the bottom of the feet or the hands. And that shin was down. And I've already signaled touchdown to all the Giant fans, so they didn't trust me before.
Some way to celebrate your 25-year anniversary.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go to the back of the booth because
after review of the play, the runner's right knee was down with his body and the ball short of the line of the goal line. Therefore, it'll be 3rd down and goal.
So that takes away what would have been the first touchdown of the year for Manningham. Well, there you see it.
Yeah, good spot.
Could be setting up a 3rd 1-yard plunge, if you will, for Ahmad Bradshaw, who was able to walk the first one in, actually, from a yard out.
Well, my judgment's just a little off today.
Remember, it is 3rd down coming up.
These are tough in the NFL.
It's Bradshaw, and he's up and over. Touchdown, New York.
Well, that's something we haven't seen much in the NFL this year, is the running backs where when it's close like this, you need some decent blocking up front, but the running back going over the top for the touchdown. Because Jim, you and I, we've seen so many 4th and inches, 3rd and inches not be made because you cannot drive the defensive lineman out of there.
Bring back the old Sam the Bam Cunningham. Marcus Allen up and over. Left no doubt about this one. His 3rd of the day. And the Giants are back in front by 7. It was a 10-play drive for the Giants. And their first touch of the second half results in a touchdown by Ahmad Bradshaw, the first Giant to rush for 3 touchdowns in a game since that man, Brandon Jacobs, back in 2008. As Eli and David Carr go over a few snapshots. And that one will bring it out to the 20. Ryan's got a career-high touchback number this year with the new starting point. 3 touchdowns for Bradshaw, the last one the prettiest of them all.
refreshing beer. And by the new action-adventure film, The Three Musketeers, in theaters Friday.
Lady Liberty on a gorgeous day here in the New York metropolitan area. Jim Nantz and Phil Simms seeing the Giants take the lead at 24-17. Out of the gun on first down. Rough ride for 5 yards for Freddie Jackson. Saturday, the Home Depot SEC on CBS. It's in Death Valley. The Auburn Tigers will tangle with top-ranked LSU, all beginning with the college football today, 3 o'clock Eastern time. You know, you used to be a part of the studio in there with Tim Brando and Spencer Tillman. That man, Tom Coughlin, back in 2003.
Didn't like it enough to try to stay in the business, did he?
Timmy B got him all fired up to go back to coaching. Gave him some plays. And that's a 2nd and 5 play for only a yard to Jackson. Iwanuka on the tackle. Got another update. Back to James Brown in the studio in New York.
I know Phil Simms likes this guy, Dan.
Yeah, Cam Newton, nowhere to throw it, so he takes off running, breaks the tackle, comes out to the outside, 14-yard touchdown run by Cam Newton, putting Carolina up 17-14.
6th rushing touchdown of the season, ties him for the league lead with 4 running backs. Jim Nantz, Phil Simms.
All right, so Atlanta in trouble. They're off to a terrible start this year. Many thought they would be the class of the NFC. 3rd and 4. The Bills keep the drive going. Could not afford a quick 3 and out with their defense on that field for almost 6 minutes on that last Giants drive. That's good for 9 yards.
The Buffalo Bills, they don't stretch the football field vertically going down. They do it horizontally. 5 wide receivers, split it out, and there's space, and this is what they do well. Catch it, take a few rhythm steps. Ryan Fitzpatrick, let it go.
David Nelson with his 2nd catch of the game. Jackson shifted back behind Fitzpatrick and plows ahead for about 6.
You know, one thing I thought today, the Giants talked a lot about, okay, when they spread the field out, you know they're going to throw it quick. They talked about, but let's hit the receivers. Well, the problem is you can't hit 5 of them. So the one that has the off coverage is the one that's most likely going to give up the short pass for the first down. That's what Ryan Fitzpatrick looks for.
He's got a 2nd and 4 from the 41. Down the sideline he goes. Johnson trying to reach around. It's picked off. What an interception by Cory Webster. Racing down and out of bounds inside the 50. It looked in midair like Stevie Johnson might be able to make a play on this. Somehow Webster made up the ground and made the pick.
With a
Catch since the first quarter. And on this occasion, Webster was able to come up with the interception, return it to the 48 of the Bills, and the Giants come out throwing to Cruz. And he's twisted down by George Wilson, who grabbed a hold of that jersey and did not let go. Gain of 6. What happened on the pick, Phil?
Well, it's underthrown by Ryan Fitzpatrick, but really excellent coverage by Cory Webster. Took the right angle, ran through the football, judged the receiver, and he's been shadowing Stevie Johnson most of the day. Even when Johnson's inside, lined up like a tight end, Cory Webster is going inside and covering him.
Where is the running back? They shift Pasco over back to the left on 2nd down and 4, and that is Ware taking a big hit by Wilson. He picks up 2.
There's a name, George Wilson, number 37. Last week, it was the game of his life. He made every big hit, tackle. He did it all. But today, been kind of quiet. You know, you talk about this, Jim, this Giant offense. What did they talk about Friday, They were amazed at the turnovers the Bills were getting on the defensive side. None today.
Yeah, number 1 in the league coming in. 3rd down and 2. Awesome. just across the first down yardage. Nick Barnett bumped him back, but a little too late. First down, New York.
Good job. Something the Giants have used a lot, the quick pitches outside Nick Barnett. Nice read, excellent tackle, but out in space still gives up the yardage for the first down.
Giants have doubled him up on first downs.
Nick Barnett, what a pickup from Green Bay. He plays every play like it's going to be his last one.
Manning looking long. Going all the way down the field, and it is incomplete. He did not hold on to it all the way to the ground. Manningham almost got the touchdown that had been taken away on the last series. It's a perfect pass by Eli.
Terrence McGee rips it, goes to the ground, and then it's coming loose right away as he hits the ground. Tom Coughlin walking with his challenge flag out. Don't throw it.
You're not going to win that one.
Here
it comes. It's out.
My first look at it is he was being taken to the ground and did not secure the catch once he was on the ground.
What'd you make of the throw?
Unbelievable anticipation. He had to trust that Manningham was going to run through the coverage because initially it looked like he was covered.
The Giants are challenging the ruling on the field of an incomplete pass.
Top of your screen, little hesitation. And there's the safety. George Wilson gets caught looking into the backfield too long. Catch, tackle. You can't say it was a completion in my interpretation of the rule book because when you watch it full speed, as he catch it, secure it, have two hands, he's already been being taken to the ground, so now he has to secure it once it goes to the ground.
And McGee almost came away with it. He almost stripped it away and secured it.
Looks like a catch. Ground ball is coming loose right away.
This is the one rule that we've seen over the last 3 years that the fan at home really has a hard time understanding.
Well, I'll join them. It is tough. It has changed a little bit, Jim, that there's a little more, in other words, I forgot what game we were doing. The game, it was in New England.
It was Aaron Hernandez.
He caught it,
against San
went
Diego.
to the ground, secured the catch, and then it was knocked out, and then it was ruled a touchdown. This is different. He is going to the ground with contact, and once he hits, it comes loose immediately. But what a throw by Eli Manning and Terrence McGee. Nice job of just staying with it. Got his hand in there, and that ball, like I said many times, out right away.
Manningham saying, wait a minute, can I get a touchdown out of this deal before the day's over?
Well, trust me, Eli Manning's saying the same thing too.
You took one away from me on the last one, he's saying. Let's see what Blakeman has to offer.
After reviewing the play, the receiver was in the process of going to the ground while he was attempting to make the catch. When he hit the ground, he lost control of the ball. Therefore, by rule, it was an incomplete pass. The Giants will have the ball second down from the 37-yard line.
So it'll be second and 10, incomplete in the end. McGee saves a touchdown. And that'll cost the Giants the timeout.
Well, it's such a big play. Usually when I see replays like this, it's worth it because look what it does. It could put you up 2 touchdown scoring plays. Coaches, you have to gamble a little more on scoring plays and just plays out in the field.
So 2nd and 10. And Eli now under pressure, able to slide away from it and throws it away. They had a couple of really good tries to bring him down for the sack. Hurd was in on him at one point.
Coverage down the field was pretty good this time. They're trying to go across the field deep. Jake Ballard, nice coverage on the inside. And they have Nix double covered. Look at that, Stacy Andrews, 78. I'll tell you what, he looked pretty good running down the field.
Eligible receiver. We saw that in practice on Friday.
Shoot. You saw that, huh?
I saw that, and I was waiting for that to happen. I don't think that Eli knew he was going to be that wide open when he had the chance. He had not sacked Eli to this point.
Oh, eagle-eyed Jim Nance caught it in practice.
You got to know how to watch the practice. What you got to look for. The draw to Ware, and tell you what saved that for the Bills defense was Edwards being able to drag him down.
It's a good call by the Giants, and you try to catch the defense by surprise. I know everybody hates it, but catch them by surprise, but knowing if you get a little success, the field goal try is there, so you're trying to hedge your bet.
So it's going to be a field goal try at 51 yards.
When we go to commercial, could you tell me how to watch practice one more
I'll work with you next week, okay? And then after that, we'll work on game film. Okay, give me the clicker. 51 yards. Hines for the 10-point lead. It is blocked. Bill's got a hand on it. It looked like McKelvin. So the Giants unable to score any points off the turnover.
What a turn, big plays. Oh my gosh, the big guy inside that time doing it. Looked like Alex Carrington. Number 92 jumped up and hit it.
It was Carrington.
Yep, football had enough. It had the height. So it was the penetration by the defensive line that allowed Carrington to get a chance to reach up and knock it down.
Now the Bills are set up off the miss at the 40. And Fitzpatrick turns around and walks right into a sack. Umanura. That was the heat, though, by Pierre Paul that caused him to turn around and try to retreat. Cost him 10 yards.
Couple things. It's the Jason Pierre-Paul pushing the pocket that does it, but the initial coverage to Fitzpatrick's right, the receiver's not open. He tries to reverse field. That is not Harrison's fault, the left tackle.
2nd down and 20. More pressure. They go screen up the middle. And it's Jackson roaming free, and Freddie Jackson nearly picks up the first. Had a nice block out there, a couple of them.
Second time today we've seen that exact play. The second time today it worked.
This is going to run out the third quarter. And have 3rd and 1 to start the 4th. Giants lead it by 7. Back after this message and a word from your local station. Jim Nance, Bill Sims here for the calling of the Giants and the Bills. Brad Smith is in the huddle for Chan Gailey's Bills, and a huge moment coming up right here.
I think this is a great time for running quarterbacks to do this. Situations like this, you get the extra blocker.
Smith takes it and still trying to drive for it. I think he is stopped short. Iwanuka came up, and yes, they're going to say just back to the line of scrimmage.
Call the 4th down play. I would think Chan Gailey's going to go for it here. Didn't look like Brad Smith followed any blocking, that's for sure, up front. Kind of tough. Where to run it, nowhere to go. Iwanuka at defensive end, at linebacker.
They bring Fitzpatrick back in at quarterback on 4th and a foot. Jackson lined up behind him.
Look how deep he is.
Quarterback sneak, and Fitzpatrick moves the pile for a first down.
Well, that's the way to run the quarterback sneak. Come up, hear the crowd, go on first sound. And he gets the quick snap, and Eric Wood, the center, first-round draft pick 3 years ago. He is the man in the middle for this offensive line. Very talented, tough as they come, leader. Why not? Fourth down, go behind him.
We saw him leading the team onto the field before kickoff.
Right.
Had him dancing and everything, chanting.
What'd he say? Let's dance.
Let's dance. First down. They say let's run. And they go to Jackson. 3, maybe 4. Freddie Jackson, in the words of his quarterback, Fitzpatrick, says he's the one constant. We know every game he's going to give us a big performance. The one constant.
I think the thing that's very deceptive about Fred Jackson, and it was told to me by a coach, he just knows how to set up the tackler. So he sets him up, and then he runs through the arm tackle. He always gets the edge on you. You can't get that solid hit.
2nd and 7. And there's a first down. Picked up by Spiller. Spiller seeing a lot of action as a wideout. These ever-changing formations by Gailey.
Well, he's a first-round draft pick from Clemson. Antrell Roll, the safety out there, he knows one thing about C.J. Spiller. He saw it in highlights. He's seen it. He's fast. So you've got to show him some respect. A little pushing out of bounds, and a defensive back's always going to be upset when a running back splits out and catches a pass on him.
They've got a new set of downs at the 36. That's Spiller again. And he falls at the 30. Gain of 6.
Well, that time it's just a zone defense. That's why it was Cory Webster out there. Chan Gailey kind of worked under Bill Cowher, learned from Ron Earhart, an old offensive coordinator of mine up here with the New York Giants. And they believe, well, if it works to the right, let's do it to the left. And they'll do it one play to the next. And I've seen Chan Gailey do it a lot this year. A lot of coaches never flip the plays and try them a second time. They run it once, and they cross it off their list. I don't know why.
2nd and 4. And the Giants stopped this one for no gain. Jackson met right away by Pierre Paul and Rocky Bernard.
Harrison slow getting up. Demetrius Bell, the starting left tackle, is out.
Now this is a real danger point right here for this Buffalo Bills offense. Hairston, their 4th-round pick out of Clemson, again in there for an injured Bell. And we've got an injury timeout.
Well, the left tackle, Chris Harrison, Jason Pierre-Paul, falls on the back of his right leg ankle. Now Chad Leinhardt in at left tackle.
In time for a 3rd and 4 and movement. They actually moved Levitri to left tackle and put Reinhardt at guard.
At guard, yes.
It's against the Giants. It would be a first down.
Encroachment. Defense, number 90. 5-yard penalty. Yardage is enough for a first down.
That's the kind of thing that Coach Coughlin was talking about. It'll drive him just crazy.
Pre-snap penalties, of course, it's always talked about as discipline, and it's the quick move by the quarterback. That is not a penalty. Oh, Jason Pierre-Paul jumps on the center. The quarterback in the shotgun can flinch his hands, move his head a little more than he can when he's underneath the center.
Got a first down, and they've got Johnson with a catch, his first since the opening quarter. And he's down near the 15. Now, while on that injury when Hairston was injured, look what was being signaled in by Coach Gailey.
Yeah, he was pretty close to him. Stay down.
And why is that?
Why? Give the backup time to warm up. It's a big 3rd down. Give us more time to think of it. And I guarantee you, during this timeout, he said to Ryan Fitzpatrick, don't forget to use your snap count. But he had that in his pocket all day. Finally, he used it, and the Giants jumped.
First time in the red zone today. The Bills on 2nd and short now have another first down. Jackson, and they are the best in the league inside the 20 on touchdown percentage, 75%, 15 of 20 times this year in the red zone, resulting in touchdowns.
Play calling, play design, they spread the field horizontally. There's a lot of reasons why. But to me, being able to run the ball and really creative design of plays, you need them once you get inside the 15, especially when you get inside the 10-yard line.
Their tight end is tough inside here, Scott Chandler.
Look at this. A lot of one-on-ones here.
On 1st and 10, Fitzpatrick again in trouble. He's going to run it this time, and he'll dive to the 9 for 4 yards.
When you have everybody out, nobody in the backfield against the Giants, it's 1-2 look, run, or 1-2 throw it away. How about Levitri? How about this? Osi Nyemanura, he only has about 3.5 sacks in his first 2 games back from injury.
Yep, back from a knee that had him out the first 3 games. He got right around Levitri that time. 2nd down and 6. You can pick up the first down at the 3. They've had the football for almost 7 minutes. Fitzpatrick to the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo. Stevie Johnson.
Really, really good throw, but the route by Stevie Johnson gets it done. It was explosive. It's fast. Oh, yes. What a move at the line of scrimmage. You can't even say anything to Cory Webster like, oh, you got to do this, whatever. Sometimes that was so dynamic. It was an easy touchdown for Fitzpatrick.
A 9-yard touchdown toss to Johnson. His 4th touchdown catch of the season. And this for the tie. The kick is good. 8 minutes and 57 seconds to play, with the game tied at 24.
Verizon, the official wireless service provider of the NFL. And by Immortals on 11/11/11. Experience it in epic 3D.
And being taken in now is Chris Hairston, the rookie left tackle, who again had to fill in and start at left tackle today.
We're going to put him on an island, they said, and I went, wow, that is some mistake you're making. But he had a terrific day before he was injured.
Thomas dropped it, picks it up on the hop, and dashes out to the 23. Ryan Fitzpatrick was 5 of 5 on that last drive. They had it for over 7 minutes to tie the game. We're tied for the 3rd time. We've had a couple of lead changes. Stevie Johnson just tying it with the touchdown grab. And Manning and company under 9 minutes to play. Take over now at the 23. And Bradshaw. And a flag is thrown. Nice piece of tackling out there by Drayton Florence on that play.
Holding, offense, number 86, 10-yard penalty, still 1st down.
You know, it's interesting. You said Drayton Florence making the tackle, being outside there, forcing the run. And, you know, you hear the word discipline and toughness. And you know what that really is? There's a lot of things it can cover. But one of the main thing is, can you have a bad day, and can you still concentrate on the play that's coming up and do your job? I think that explains Drayton Florence, that last play. Hey, stay in there, keep fighting. Going to be plenty of opportunities to still make the play. That's the difference in this game today.
1st and 20. Back at the 13. And Bradshaw for 3. Got the midweek football blues. We'll take an hour of NFL Films highlights, perceptive analysis, even a little bit of Phil's footwork on Inside the NFL. Wednesday on Showtime. This is what I'm talking about right here.
Oh, that's really funny stuff.
You get your own segment now, huh? Wow. What an audition for Dancing with the Stars, huh?
Dancing with the Idiots.
2nd down, 17. Oh, a drop ball by Cruz. Boy, just think about the Giants now. They got 3rd and 17 coming up. A mental error right here.
Well, and Victor Cruz, the football kind of comes out the side of the hand of Eli Manning, but it still doesn't matter. You got to catch it. It's not the perfect spiral, but still Victor Cruz, excellent hands. For an NFL guy, that's about, you miss that once out of every 500 times.
Instead of 3rd and about 8, it's 3rd and 17.
Everybody deep for the Bills.
And Bradshaw underneath is only able to take it to the 24. A gain of 9. When you think about the Giants going into a bye, they just lost to Seattle last week at home. In danger of losing another home game here.
Jim, just watch the defensive players and look at everybody dropping back. And that's knowing the situation, what to do to make sure that if whoever catches it breaks the tackle, they still can't get the first down. So excellent job by George Edwards, defensive coordinator.
Weatherford, who has never had a punt blocked in some 400 career punts. And this wobbler comes to Spiller at the 25. Able to get through the congestion. There is a flag. Would have had the Bills set up at a good spot at the 41 after a 51-yard punt.
Block in the back. Who's close?
Got a flag back down to the line of scrimmage, too. A while to sort this one out.
There are fouls against both teams on the play. Ineligible man downfield kicking team number 53. Illegal block in the back during the return by the return team number 31. Those penalties offset and will replay 4th down.
Well, the Giants defense is going to be right back on the field after watching Fitzpatrick and the Bills offense keep it for over 7 minutes. You heard Coach Coughlin in practice on Friday talk about toughness, physical toughness, mental toughness.
Well, it encompasses all. In other words, toughness. What does it mean? Well, of course, playing, but are you tough enough to prepare all week the right way? Are you tough enough to put mistakes behind you and keep marching on?
Zach Piazzi, son of your former teammate Steve, with a long snapper, sends it back to Weatherford. Still hit back pedals to the 19, and he's taken down at the 26. 56-yard punt, 7-yard run back. Herzlich on the tackle.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the Honda Odyssey, like no van before. And by Subway Restaurants. Get in on the Subway Taste for Adventure Suites today.
Well, we're back with the Bills and the Giants. All square at 24. And the ball belongs to Buffalo again.
I'm just going to guess it's a run. You know why? I'm watching the left tackle. I was wrong.
It's a screen instead.
Same thing.
Jackson for 4. Pretty nifty footwork by Stevie Johnson.
Watch the right foot, the plants. He just drives it into the ground. You win these type of battles at the line of scrimmage. You know, the game at the receiver position is so much about deception. He deceived Cory Webster on that touchdown.
Well, trying to deceive perhaps a little bit here. They send Fitzpatrick. They slip him to the sideline. Got Smith back ready to take the snap. On 2nd and 6. Smith looked like he was going to throw it. He was.
Aaron Ross not fooled on the outside, stayed with the tight end Chandler. And a good job by Smith not throwing it. Looking down the field, well covered.
Smith, the old Missouri quarterback. Interesting, they spotted at the 34, which will set up 3rd and 2.
There's Aaron Ross, top of the screen in perfect position. Stay outside, safety inside to help you out.
Big moment right here. Coughlin cheering on his defense. Trying to get them off the field. Send Jackson over to a slot on the right. Fitzpatrick's throw. What a catch. Boy, he is slipping, but he was able to somehow keep his balance. Talking about David Nelson, and picks up the first down.
Boy, David Nelson, we talked about him. Looks like a big old tight end sometimes. Runs like a wide receiver. And the Ryan Fitzpatrick, the whole play, I wanted to go call a timeout. He was fighting the clock, sent the guy in motion too late, stomping his foot, still able to get the snap and be composed enough to find Nelson for the first down.
All 3 catches by Nelson today, coming on 3rd down and picking up firsts. From the 41. Back up top, open man. It's Nelson again, and he's down to the Giants' 26.
Well, they've thrown so many short hookups by the slot receiver. They did a double move early in the game, and he missed it. This time the play action fake, and boy, Ryan Fitzpatrick, he can just rear back and throw. There's no reason double move. They go for the run fake. That's why he's wide open. And Levitre gets beat to the inside. I'm watching him when he's in a different stance. You kind of know it's pass, but how about that? Left guard to left tackle. This is some tough position for Levitre, and he's done a good job so far. Look how far he's back. It's just got to be pass.
That picked up 32 yards. It is pass. It's to Johnson. He reaches up, and again it's Webster making the play for the pick. A flag is down. It'll probably be interference against Stevie Johnson.
Well, it's a replay.
Was it underthrown again?
Absolutely. Shane Gailey, his body language tells you this. You got to get it farther down the field and to the outside. Cory Webster, though.
After the interception, personal foul, grabbing the face mask.
Boy, that takes the Giants out of the jam right there. The face mask penalty. They would have been right around the 4-yard line. What a play by Webster.
Look at the separation. He's got it. It's, I would say he underthrew that maybe 5 yards. And sometimes when the receiver beats him cleanly, the quarterback goes, well, okay, I'm just going to throw it right soft and in there, where he should have driven the football to the outside and much farther down the field. But Cory Webster, we talked about it. The Giants put the pressure on him, not quite as much as like the Jets do with Darrelle Revis, but a lot.
His second interception from the 19. It's Bradshaw running with great force and intensity for 11.
Boy, what a turnaround. Kevin Booth, oh my gosh, right guard. Double teams, then gets up on the linebacker and gets contact again. Allows it to happen. And he is, like I said, played center last week, right guard this week.
With 3.5 to play. That's out throwing. And out of bounds at the 33. Pasco for 3. Next week, regional action. We're going to be right back here at this stadium for San Diego and the Jets. Some will get their action late with Pittsburgh at Arizona or Kansas City against Oakland. Regional action next week, all beginning with the NFL Today presented by Southwest Airlines. Second and 7 for the Giants. And Bradshaw, big running lane, and he takes off. Bradshaw able to hop past Bird and Florence at one time he got away from.
It was a stiff arm. Bird does the right thing. He tries to go down, get his arms around his legs. But Bradshaw, little counteraction, good block on the outside, and just puts his arm out there. I'm sorry, it's not Bird that misses the first tackle. It's Drayton Florence.
Yep, Florence first. And then here's Bird right here, 31.
Yeah, at least he slows him down.
Ware into the backfield after that 30-yard rump. Manning unloads, and that might draw a flag. Florence. No, yes, they do throw it out. Trying to defend on Nix.
Yeah, everybody could see the pulling of the jersey that time.
Pass interference. Defense, number 29. The ball he plays to the spot of foul. Automatic first down.
Lawrence has had a tough day.
Stays with him this time on the inside release. Oh, yes. And what happened is, Jim, there was an official behind him. Couldn't see it. He was shielded. Shielded from it.
The 26, it's Ware. And as we reach the 3-minute mark, he picks up 5.
That was just an attitude run that time by the Giants. Hand it off, and everybody just fire out, hit your guy, David Deal, Will Beatty.
Fitzpatrick. Just
give me one more chance.
Yeah.
That's all he's thinking.
And trying to let go, although it's impossible to do so. That pick, as he had the Bills driving to go ahead. 2nd and 5. And Bradshaw is within a yard of the first. This will probably bring us down to the 2-minute warning. Bradshaw, by the way, goes over 100. 102 yards on the ground and 3 touchdowns. 3rd and 1 coming up out of the 2-minute warning. You're watching the NFL on CBS. Way for the Giants. What do you see here, Phil?
Well, I'll go the Buffalo defense. I would play run, of course, 100%. I would commit every extra guy up front to stopping the run. Because if you let them run it and get the first down, the clock, the Giants can take your timeouts away from you and really make it difficult for you to win. So dare Eli Manning to throw it against just single one-on-one coverage.
They got Andrews in the backfield as the fullback. And shift him over on a wing on the right. And a flag. And a procedure penalty.
False start. Offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Wow, this was an issue last week against Seattle late in the game for the Giants.
Well, we basically saw Tom Coughlin do calisthenics in front of us in our meeting talking about false starts. 78. And he demonstrated this to us. He goes, this is all it takes. He got down in the stance, which I was pretty impressed with. 65 years old and limber and did it. But how many times the Giants do exactly that?
3rd and 6. They got the one-on-one, trying to work on Florence, and they draw another flag on him. Second on this drive.
Pass interference. Defense, number 29. Ball replaced. The spot of foul. Automatic first down.
Eli Manning's got to be thinking, I'm either going to get a catch or I'm going to get a call.
Oh, absolutely. Never turns around and looks. Runs through the receiver, too.
That's the 3rd penalty of the day against Florence. 45 penalty yards in all. Giants set up at the 7th, 1st and goal. Bradshaw. Stop just short.
I was going to say, if I was the Bills, good. Let them score.
Timeout. Timeout called by the Bills.
Yeah, he is just short.
Kevin Gilbride at one time was an offensive coordinator at Buffalo about 10 years back. What a big day, though, for Bradshaw. Over 100, 3 touchdowns, very nearly a fourth, and who knows, maybe it's still to come.
Well, he started the day off. We talked about it. He says, I'm big enough to put the team on my back, this offense, whatever. Well, he came through on that promise. He has run the ball extremely well. But you know, Jim, I always see that situation. I don't know if I could do it as a coach. Let them score. Give your offense that extra time. They still had 3 timeouts. I know I definitely would let them score in this play.
Brandon Jacobs sitting out this game with a knee injury. Second and goal. And Bradshaw is set back 4 yards by Darius. And another quick timeout called. All by the Bills. Got a minute and 40 to play in what's been a good one here at MetLife Stadium. Buffalo and the Giants tied at 24. The Giants have a 3rd and goal to go from the 5.
Well, that was really bad strategy by me, because now look what the Giants or the Bills have the Giants in. A situation like this, if they decide to throw it, it's incomplete. They save that timeout and then only need a field goal to tie. It's a good thing I'm not the coach of the Vince.
Well, 3 receivers set, and Manning throws, almost intercepted. Leotis McKelvin, the #1 takeaway team in the game, hasn't had one today, but very nearly with a huge one, and it was almost shades of Seattle. In the same spot a week ago.
Yeah, a little different route this time. The receiver is sitting still. McKelvin comes around, probably the truest corner on the Buffalo Bills.
And now they bring out Tynes for the field goal try to take the lead from 23 yards. And the kick is good. Giants go up 27-24.
Well, what a stand by the Bills to come back with a minute 32 and still have a timeout left.
Boy, it sure looked like on that first down carry that Bradshaw was going to get in for the touchdown. A couple of Bills collided with him and stopped him just short.
Well, and then the outside run and the tackle for the loss changed everything. Of course, it changed my strategy too, but
now you're going to have a minute and 32 seconds and 1 timeout for Buffalo. Of course, he's been the comeback specialist this season, part of the story of this Buffalo Bills team, the big new sensation of the AFC this year with its 4-1 start, coming back from 18 down to beat Oakland on a 4th down play to win it, coming back from 21-0 down against New England to win. A reminder coming up, the Subway postgame show, JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, Coach Cower, all the latest scores and highlights coming up on the Subway postgame show.
Well, we showed Ryan Fitzpatrick sitting on the sideline just contemplating the interception he had thrown. And all he wanted, it was an opportunity. Once the Giants got the pass interference, it looked bleak, but this is about the best, well, it is the best you could have hoped for. I mean, the Bills got the pass interference against them.
Giants kick results in a touchback. Those crazy wins we spoke of against Oakland week 2, and then in week 3, no one could ever imagine, Glenn Delport the winner, that you could actually come back from 21-0 down against New England, but they did it. Last week they picked Michael Vick 4 times.
Can the offensive line hold up with a new left tackle in obvious passing situations?
5 yards against the Bills.
False start. Offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Incomplete, intended for Nelson. That was Ross defending. Looks as though maybe he's having a hard time getting the signal sent in through the helmet.
Justin Tuck leading the cheers.
Second and 15. Got Jackson open. Nice shifty move. And gets about 11 of it back. Maybe 10. It's going to be 3rd and 5. They're going to preserve the one timeout they have. Need to get to the 30 for the first. And 3rd down. Incomplete through the hands of Roosevelt. And now they face 4th down.
Inside receiver coming outside. Throws just a little behind.
Fourth and 5. Ball tipped, incomplete, and the Giants are going to win it. Jason Pierre-Paul. You know, one other thing you picked up at practice the other day was all about keep your hands up. Just, it sounds like a simple reminder, but they felt like they were going to be able to bat some balls today.
Well, I've been waiting for it all day long. I don't know if he's had any passes tipped, but it's a 3-man rush. You are not going to get to the quarterback. Jason Pierre-Paul was double teamed, so he gave up and he gets it with both hands. In fact, I think that was our opening point.
Yes, it was. It was
game.
One of your tools to victory.
But didn't see it all day long.
What a coach you would be after all.
Yeah, right.
Subway postgame show is coming up. JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, Coach Power. I'll have all the updates. Pittsburgh a winner already today. Atlanta, Cincinnati, Green Bay. The games are all final.
12 men on the defense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Chan Gailey's Buffalo Bills are going to drop back to 4-2, and that's what the Giants will be now. Freddie Jackson's 80-yard run, the longest by a Bill in 20 years, will not come in a victory performance. Really exciting game it's been with 3 ties and a couple of lead changes. You haven't seen Buffalo in quite some time, Phil. What did you take away from their performance first?
Well, I think, Jim, they gave themselves the opportunity to win this game, that's for sure. With the chances, Cory Webster came through with 2 terrific interceptions, might be the difference. But the Bills, they are watching them here today, seeing them in person. I'd be surprised if they're not in this all the way. They're tough. The offense is very versatile, and the defense didn't do it today. Didn't do it today, but they have the ability to make plays. So I was impressed overall by the Buffalo Bills, no doubt.
Well, Ryan Fitzpatrick ruining that one pass when they were driving on the Giants, having a chance to go down and take the lead here in this fourth quarter. And Webster on a very similar route and play from earlier in the game. But it was a little bit underthrown. Again, made the interception, Cory Webster.
2 plays Ryan Fitzpatrick had today that were not, like, I'd say, perfect. And those were the 2 interceptions where he underthrew both of them.
The last snap, there you go. The Giants take it 27-24. Bradshaw with 3 touchdowns. The winning field goal coming from Lawrence Tynes with 1 minute and 32 seconds remaining from 23 yards out. Coming up next, the Subway postgame show. For Phil Simms, Lance Barrow, Mike Arnold, and the entire production and technical teams here. Jim Nance saying so.